Share more of this announcement. True story from a real friend that can come forward as they are. Stored in a real life. Sense in stone. Needed this somehow shared publicly because of how many it could help. Yet privately too, so not to hurt anyone.
Humble duty to share a handful of stories with you. Some old ones as far back as thousands of years ago, some from the todays even, as we continue into chapter 20. I looked in many eyes during then, and none of them understood what they, as a giant team that isn't communicating together effectively, compiled mostly of gossip workers from NMS, reporting in at best scientists practicing medicine experimentations. Did to someone, let me mention, that was walking around having a pretty great life, defying a popular simple medical device for kind of his whole life. He just had a smaller threshold or perimeter range of stamina, though could do everything a 5-year-old could do, up until a bunch of strangers at a new ER that never seen him before stole him from his family within less than 1 minute of communication, and no altercation, no issues caused from the parents, just a misreading of the situation from another total outsider outside the room from child services, I presume, that stole custody as the dad was climbing on the bed to help soothe the child, crying for him to get him to stop. As I explained verbally, we just have to let him hurry up and put the mask on for a few minutes to see this isn't the problem like they thinking they will be able to hear what we are trying to tell them then. So as the nurse on the window side suggested, the dad was halfway climbing on the bed to help calm his 5-year-old. As he was terrified, never been through anything like this. People were treating him like he was dying when we walked in there, just wanting a referral to see a second specialist on our options for him. Because one person last month wants to do a surgery within the next 8 years at the max of the statistical range she knows to be true, though it's limited data that included death as a step, and he wasn't exactly bad like needing that. Now she agreed though, at next place I wanted 10,000 to skip the ER run. The doctor hasn't even made it into the room yet, and I acknowledged they couldn't hear me yet about his pulse oximetry number has always been lower than the book, as they were frantic and they needed to follow their quick protocol. I understood and knew temporarily the high flow oxygen wasn't gonna cause cellular destruction like prolonged exposure does to people, like maybe they did as a parents, immediately blindsided and exiled for around a month in the hospital, was left totally in the blind trying to treat a problem that didn't actually exist, at least not at all like how they made him. He was running around right before they took him to and can't take one step and gasping to breathe. To be continued.
Dance that much. You're developing an incredible amount of endurance there. Try to train your movement in such a way where you are your own slow-mo replay.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to develop that kind of postural control and also have that time to be able to audit yourself. So in other words, like if I'm moving fast, like whatever, like wow, I'm doing whatever movements I want to do. How much time do I have to perceive error in my movement? Not a lot.
No.
But if I have a lot of time where like I can just, oh yeah, I can straighten up a little bit more. Oh yeah, I can relax my shoulders a little bit more. Oh, I can extend a little bit straight, whatever, right?
Yeah.
We have time for those kinds of audits. Yes. And as we have time for those kinds of audits, then we can improve.
Yeah.
But if we're going too fast, again, covering up our mistakes with speed, we don't have that chance to improve.
No, exactly. I can see how this is useful even for people who do modern combat sports.